legal tender with the red seal note. And we're gonna talk about the colors because we have other options as well.
Well, the United States government, when they made, the history of American currency is kind of a long and tortured story. They tried to let individual banks do it, so we had national bank notes, but the banks kept going bankrupt and the currency became worthless. So at some point, the United States government starts releasing a currency that's backed by the United States government. So if you pull out a bill, one of your dollar bills or $5 bills or $10 bills today, the seal here is green. The seal here is green that you see right there.
And just so I explain, this is, you get the 1928 $2 legal tender note, the 1953, and the 1963, all three of them.
These are the last three editions of the red seal $2 bill. They then, before that, did a blue seal note. That was a silver certificate. The red seal note is also, in essence, a silver certificate, but it's called a United States note. There's a specific amount of these red seals done with red serial numbers as well. Doesn't that kind of look funny? Now, if we go, can you focus right on there? The United States of America will pay to the bearer on demand $2. And by $2, they mean two solid dollars. They mean two silver dollars. So if you would have taken that to the United States Treasury, in essence, and given them this note, they would hand over to you two silver dollars. Now, they stopped doing that in 1972, I think is when they stopped the transition. So this is what you have, the original $2 bill. Now, the last part of this, the reverse of this, is much different than what you're used to seeing now. Today's $2 note, of course, has the picture of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, John Turnbull's famous painting that hangs in the Yale University Library. This is the much more vintage look at Monticello that you see right there, Jefferson's home. Yeah. So you have Jefferson on the front, you have Monticello on the back. It's a $2 note, it's red seal. And like I said, look at this, 1928. Do you realize how hard it is to get a note from 1928 that remains in this kind of condition? We have 28, and then they changed the series in 1953. So from 1928 to, so these notes basically circulated until 1953. Then in 1953, they did a new series note that you're going to have here. And then the very last red seal note was done in 1963 that you're going to see right there. You get three notes for $59.95. So let me put it, you're paying less than $20 a piece for red seal $2 bills, legal tenders, the complete $2 red seal set that you see right here in what we call small size currency. They had some red seals in large size. The large size legal tender set of the red seals in the $2 bill in the vintage old style reverse of that coin or that currency set as well. We don't do a lot of currency here.
No, we don't.
I love currency. Here's the problem. It's paper. Yeah. It just, they shred it. Right. I mean, a dollar bill lasts about 8 months. And then the government has to shred it and print another one. Currency just wears out way faster than coins. And so coins stand the, I can sell, if you go to hsn.com, I've got a bronze coin, a bronze Roman coin with Constantine, Emperor Constantine on it. That's from, he made the coin. It's 2,000 years old.
That's an old
It's $99.
And it's still...
And I've got it on hsn.com. I don't have any 2,000-year-old paper.
Right, exactly.
Is ultimately what it comes down to. So currency, when we...
I think that what you just mentioned is gone.
Goodness. Well, that happens.
It's been
all
one
the
of those
Constantine,
days.
we had the Constantines and all the, sorry, there they are, sold out. Well, that makes sense. and that's what happens. hsn.com, stay on that. As a matter of fact, we have literally hundreds, if not thousands of things there that'll never see the light of day. So our one currency item for the day, and by the way, they come in these fabulous holders, so you don't have to worry about destroying the note or hurting the note in any way. You get all three, the 28, the 53, the 63, less than 20 bucks.
All right, 701-813. I'm going to remind you of our today's special because it is coming up for the last time today.